Alcohol, drugs, and driving do not go together. When drinking alcohol, using drugs, or being distracted for any reason, driving becomes dangerous and potentially lethal. We're talking more about that today. We welcome in Courtney Popp, who is the Washington State Traffic Safety Resource Prosecutor with the King County Sheriff's Office. Hello, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So what brings you to Hawaii?
I'm here to offer sort of a perspective on Washington State and marijuana in general for the Hawaii State Drug Recognition Expert Conference, which will be Hawaii's drug recognition experts who are law enforcement officers as well as their prosecutors.
Okay, so you're speaking to them and also training them?
Yes, they have a 2-day training where they bring their drug recognition experts and their prosecutors from all over the state to a single location and provide them with the most current up-to-date training and an opportunity to interact with one another, kind of share what the problems are that are going on in their communities and learn new skills and strategies for addressing those.
Okay, what does that training include?
Training includes sort of what one would expect, where you have experts in different subject matters relating to impaired driving, relating to drug impairment, as well as some alcohol because, of course, they interact. And then they'll have an opportunity to also do some hands-on training where they're practicing the skills that they'll need either in the courtroom or at the roadside and be able to learn from one another and as well as from experts.
Okay, so you're from Washington State, and
Yes.
Washington was one of the first states to legalize marijuana. Can you tell us what, you work in this field, what has been some of the effects of marijuana use and driving?
I think it's been sort of what many expected who were not looking forward to the legalization, but also it's just been something that's continually evolving, so we're not quite at it, we have answers yet. But what we have seen is definitely an impact, a significant growth in every state that has legalized recreational marijuana and or just expanded their availability. We're seeing a real increase in the number of impaired drivers on our roadway that are testing positive for having consumed marijuana prior to driving.
Okay, and can you explain how marijuana affects driving abilities?
Yes, often people kind of colloquially will say, oh, it's something you can use marijuana and you actually may drive better or you drive slower. And what we've seen both just on the roadside as well as through recent research studies is in fact the #1 reason that these people are being stopped is speeding, because just like alcohol, it relaxes your inhibitions, it makes you not concentrate on the behavior you should be doing, which of course is driving safely. But when marijuana is ingested into the body, it very quickly processes, and so it goes from being something that we could test that's in our blood, and it very quickly goes into the brain. And of course, that is significantly important for safe driving, so people are not making the best decisions on the roadway, their reaction times are slowed, and that, of course, is a real problem when you're talking about other motorists.
Right. And, we're talking about impaired driving, and people may immediately think of alcohol, but impaired driving really encompasses all of, it could be drugs, it could even be prescription drugs.
Absolutely. And that's sort of something we try to focus people in on. It's not whether something is legal or illegal. I mean, if there's a crash and you injure, or even worse, you kill someone, they're not any less injured or dead because of the substance that you had. So we do have to be aware that impairment is impairment. And another thing to consider is there's a lot of interaction between those different things. So someone may have a glass of wine with dinner and then smoke a little bit of marijuana, but that influence against each of the drug and alcohol, that's going to really significantly increase impairment. And then you think of people, there's lots of people who take prescription medication. And then when they're adding in something like marijuana and or alcohol, we can be looking at a significant impairment that they may not have expected.
Right. You never know how things are going to interact with each other.
Exactly.
There's a lot of people who talk about the money that could be raised for the state, right, with legalizing marijuana. Has marijuana tax revenue brought about all the promises that were made, improvements to the city or whatever? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's important for people to be aware that it's creating a lot of other issues that will need to be addressed as well. So the cost ultimately isn't something that's going to change the budget. I think one of the most frequent examples that's given for something similar would be a lottery. So a state lottery may raise money, but it hasn't significantly changed how our states operate.
All right, Courtney, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
And we hope that it's not all work while you're here in Hawaii.
No, I get to enjoy a little bit.
Okay, good. Glad to hear that.